But yeah, battle royale, dungeon crawler will be fun. I mean, so we're back to multiplayer, right? And I need to get my networking up. There's some interesting stuff happening with networking in Godot. And I'd like to do it properly.
The Nurato plugin as well looks very interesting, but again, it's managing servers, and there's also a cost to that people don't realize. Sure, you can set up peer to peer is the cheaper way of doing it, but it's also quite an archaic way of doing things. Whereas although Factorio I think uses peer to peer in order to manage its stuff. Now you can use the Steam API, you can use something else, but these are all barriers to entry for people. They're essentially courses by themselves rather than just something you do during a course. That's
Couch games is a lot easier, and that's something that both Jelly and Melicon are saying.
Couch
local
co-op.
multiplayer is very easy, and in fact, making local multiplayer work in Godot is incredibly easy because what you do is you use a viewport container, so you can have multiple viewports, so you have multiple active cameras on screen at the same time, like we do with a mini-map in Godot Getaway, right? There's just here's another camera, it's a different viewport, and then what you do is you put your viewport containers in a grid container, and for every player there is, you just add them to the grid container. And because of the way that containers work in Godot, if there's two people, it's row one, row two. Am I I don't know if I'm reversed. Row one, row two. And then the third one will be here and the fourth one will be here. So it automatically creates split screen for you. Which is a really nice way of doing it. Because then you don't even have to worry about creating different systems. You say, well, this is the pattern you make. You could have between 1 and 4 players locally go, or everybody on the same screen at the same time and do Super Godot Brothers.
That should be fine. Can't see any. Oh well, you did code up a kart racing game a while back, and we well, I say we. Jan had everything working 4-player co-op. It was an interesting game. We played it, but it was kind of the genesis for Godot Getaway. Essentially, we started working with the music, the models, and everything else, and managed to get to a place which was a far more fun game to play than just racing each other around some arbitrary track.
Yes. There's a lot you can do with racing games. I would love to make third-person controller action, a third-person action game. I'm actually remastering Food Fight for Discovered Godot for game dev at the same time we're doing this. I'm having to do 1 week here, 1 week there. And that's third person, and there's a lot of interesting stuff you have to know with that. A lot of which is algebra and trigonometry, things that I thought I would never need, and I just don't like.
Yes, so if any youngsters are watching, you will end up using trigonometry if you get into coding.
Yeah, if you want to move things in 3 dimensions, it turns out you need to know what these things are. I was trying to get the NPC driver working in Mag Racer, and I spoke to Bastian Olej, who's lovely and does all kinds of tutorials, and we get on great. And he went on Discord with me, and he wrote like a prototype code with me there, just we're testing it and trying things out. It was really cool. And then I put it in. It's like, okay, so I need to check what the next corner is and what the angle is there, so I know when to slow down. And it turned out that took me 3 days. Because I just don't have the maths. Like, which one is cosine? What's acos? What's tan?
It's not something you get from In the Sun, I'm afraid.
Yep.